You ready?
Rain coming, it ain't gonna be good.
I know it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is the Rural Roads and Bridges Committee meeting for Tuesday, February the 4th. And roll's been called. We have one absent, and that's Laura Nettles. She's still fighting the flu. And we're ready to go ahead and approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda. Been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passed. Need a motion. We have any public, well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you how, this is the way I work my meetings. I have a sign-up sheet. You can go ahead and speak now, but when we get to a subject, if you want to talk about it too, or want, you raise your hand up, and I'll be glad to let you speak about it. Because I just do that because I want to hear what people of this county want to say to us. And so just, just be courteous to us, and we'll be courteous to y'all, okay? But if you want to speak now, if you want to just go ahead and talk now, now's a good time to go ahead and do that, because I know what you're wanting to talk about was not really on the agenda. And usually that's what's supposed to be on is when you speak, but I'll let you go ahead and talk, and if you would, you need to come up
here
to
and
the
sit
set.
down right here, and we'll turn
We're
this
gonna-
microphone on.
We'll put you on microphone.
We'll stay back here. We're back here.
Okay.
You got this. She's the spokesperson for this group.
Okay, well, I am, I guess, a representative for the people that live in the Pomeroy Place subdivision, and that is off of Maple Springs Road, off of, well, we live on Mayan. The subdivision is called Pomeroy Place, but there's 10 houses there, and it's a dead end. Mr. Curtis Williamson was building houses. I don't know if any of y'all knew him. He built the houses in there, and he started building, I think, in 2005. And he ended up filing bankruptcy before he completed the last of the houses, and never finished the road, drainage or top coat. And we've talked to Mr. Bartlett before about this, and he said that there's nothing can be done unless we just get a lawyer or whatever. Well, I wrote this letter here to Mr. Williamson and sent it registered. I got a notification that the post office was unable to deliver it because they said he was unavailable. So I don't know where that letter's at, but I got a copy of it here where everybody in the subdivision has signed. All 10 families are represented in this letter. And I just kindly asked him to do the right thing and finish what he started. I've got pictures here, if you want to pass those. The 2 top ones are right after it snowed, and then my husband and some of the neighbors got there, and he went and bought some patch stuff, and they tried to patch the holes. Well, that didn't last. It lasted a while, but... And then this is one I made just before we left the house today.
So is base asphalt put down? It was put down?
Yeah.
And that's as far as he went?
Yeah.
And they're
But
just
It's
crumbling.
never been accepted on the road list.
No.
Now, what we
Because
understand...
technically, this is not on our road list, right?
No, it's not
It can't be on the road list until it's been
finished.
finished. Exactly.
Which
Now, I
wouldn't
don't
take
know
a
it to
terribly
be-
lot, but
Has he gone bankrupt?
Well, he's still working, he's still operating a business out of Murfreesboro, Gum Road in Murfreesboro. It's called Williamson Storage and Construction or something. I don't know. Gum Road in Murfreesboro.
That's why a bond ought to be put up, needs to be put up for a subdivision.
and I
Yes,
think in times past it did have one, and when he went bankrupt, somehow that bond went away. Now I don't know that much about it. It was done way before I got in there, so I'm just catching the tail end of it.
Yeah.
I don't know it to be true. Somebody told me that he may have built those houses out in Fredonia Village, or some out there or whatever, but just recently we heard that they went in there and paved, y'all went in there and paved all that with a grant. Is that right?
I'd like
No.
to see that letter.
What's
You
his
don't
name again?
mind?
What's his name again?
Curtis Williamson.
Thank you.
And he's filed, or you think he has filed bankruptcy in Coffee County?
I'm sure he did, of course, you know, that's, like I said, that's been a while back. We bought our house in 2017, but there was two previous owners before
I
us.
pick kids up at the end of that road, at y'all's gates, or at
So
the,
his bankruptcy, he's out of bankruptcy now and building, what I understand, in Murfreesboro.
So when people bought homes out there, they already, he wasn't done, people actually bought homes on that subdivision before he ever finished the road, right?
Back in the day, you could,
You could do that.
90%, built out or 2 years, and, you know, it never got finished coat, never put on.
Down that end of the road?
No, this is looking
The idea
towards,
was to keep from tearing up the
Pomeroy.
road while they were building the houses.
Yeah,
and,
I,
you know.
I agree with
Cul-de-sac
that.
is back this way.
At least get the base down.
There's 5 homes
is there a
on one
bond
side
has
of
to
the
be
street
put down
and
on
5
new
the other.
subdivisions
Yeah, we've got bonds on, we've had some.
to
that's-
cover the roads?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I don't know what happened to the bond on that one. It didn't get,
So we need to get somebody to research the bonds.
generally ours have to get renewed so often, every year, I think, and for some reason that didn't get.
Okay.
Does this fall under our county's responsibility now? I mean, how does that work when,
I'm
when
not-
you got
I'm not sure.
when you've got a gentleman come in and begin to build a place like this? When does that road become our responsibility?
When
it's
it gets
When it's
finished.
finished.
When they're finished building?
Yeah, reality is that whenever
He-
it's finished, then he has to go do a
Accept it.
final inspection to accept it. Once it's accepted, then it goes into our road list. Is that right?
That is right.
Yes.
Okay, so he went bankrupt supposedly years ago before that step, before it was completed.
Regardless if he went bankrupt, his bond, they should have went back to his bond company, and the bond company is responsible at that point of doing that road, or finishing that road, or finishing that project, or whatever. But, you know, he's sat there and he's left the
Has anybody
homeowners holding the
researched
bag,
that
is what
about
I
the
see.
bond or anything with the lawyer?
No,
Okay.
no, no.
Nobody has researched that. I'll make a motion that we have our mayor, have our lawyer do research on the bond, and I know it's 7 years out. If there's any recourse for the county to, collect that bond. Because if there was a bond put, somebody paid something on it, and it's either slipped through the cracks. Because once you pay a bond, it stands, doesn't it? Do you have to continue to pay for the bond, or is the bond just a one-time cost?
You pay for the bond up front. As a construction company, you'd pay for a bond up front, and so much for whatever the
Okay.
project is. And if you default on that, then that bonding company is
Okay.
liable for it.
I would
Whether
like to.
you file bankruptcy or not, that doesn't matter. It's up to the bond
Yeah.
company then now to finish the project. I mean, you've seen it happen in Manchester
It did
before.
on the jail.
Yeah, and so, yeah, the bond company should have stepped in and say, okay, now we're gonna have to get it finished.
I make the motion that we have our mayor talk to our lawyer and research the bond, if there's any recourse there, and report back to us. We could even have a report back in an open meeting in March instead of having to wait for another Rural Road and Bridge meeting. I mean, we could just do it right there. That would be a month. That'd give him 30 days for the lawyer to at least do the research on the bond.
Mhm.
And that would give us an avenue to, and maybe even research this gentleman, because if he's back in business, I don't see why the county could not put a lien against something he's doing to recoup the money. Maybe, maybe not. I'm by far am not a lawyer.
Well, there needs to be something we can motivate him to finish up on what he started.
Can I give you,
I would go second with you.
I don't think it's on here.
Because here's the thing is, if we do it for them, if we go do that, there's gonna be 10 more come back that are gonna want Benton to finish a road. And then we've set precedent that we're gonna finish a road for somebody that we're not supposed to, and I know that it's a mess for them. But there's another one out there someplace that's been before us before too, that it's a connecting road and it stops in the middle.
Anywhere.
Yeah, just write it down and I'll send it to
Can
the
I
mayor.
interject something there?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
There's 10 of us out there. We pay over $200,000 a year in taxes.
I understand that.
And none of us was there whenever he filed for bankruptcy.
Okay.
We didn't know anything about it.
Mhm.
But the problem now is it's devalued our property. Nobody would buy any of our property with that holes out there big enough to bury a Jeep in. And so I got an estimate one time just to do it from the road over to my house. So my house is the first one on the right with a flagpole. And it was $20,000. I don't have that kind of money. And, but we're willing to work with anybody that wants to work with us. And my thoughts are, and I'm talking out of turn here probably, is that when you have a job and you have leftover product, asphalt, we don't care if it takes 5 years to get it done as long as it started. You know what I mean? And the entranceway out there has got a tile that's sticking up, and it's sticking up about 3 inches above the surface of the road. So, he had his man come out there, I think, and they put a plastic plug in the holes, but that tile's still sticking up in the air. So,
But is that on your road?
Yeah, it's on our
Technically,
road.
see, technically, right now, it's your road.
right,
It does not belong to the county.
yeah,
So if we go ahead and work on it now, then Tim Morse may say, hey, I want my driveway to become a county road. And precedent's been set, and then it gets the county, it gets him in trouble. I wanna see what the mayor and the lawyer find, and us get back to you. The earliest that, instead of us having a special called meeting, we have a full county commission meeting in March, second Tuesday in March. I'm all for letting the lawyer speak that night. That way we can speed up the process. I mean, he can send it to us in an email, but if he would speak to us in an open meeting, that would be in front of everybody. It'd be in front of all 18 of us.
well, I would dare say that we probably devalued each one of our homes by $20,000. And we had no idea up front, that this guy filed bankruptcy, we didn't even know who built it. So the people that's being punished is us now. And none of them, as far as I know, nobody lives there now that lived back when he finished the road, or supposed to finish the road. So, paying that much taxes every year and not getting any results is really a
Yeah.
poke in the face to us,
Yeah, it is.
you know?
Shouldn't be that way. Have you gone back to your realtor and find out, why the background check and the title search and all that type of thing that happened? Why they didn't show up this problem?
I don't think so. No, we haven't done that, have we?
What?
The realtor, we've not gone back there, have we? We bought the house from,
Michelle?
yeah. I don't think she knew anything about it either, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And when we first moved out there in 2017, it was bad, but it wasn't this bad.
Didn't have potholes in it then, you know?
Well-
If it had been a surface put on it then, it'd been real easy.
And Jean, Miss Golden over there, her husband is so nice. Every time the water rushes, rain washes the gravel out of the holes, he gets out there with a broom, pushes it back in
Well, it's
there.
got curbing, so he started it.
Yeah, it has curbing.
All he liked when he got through was the finish, the top,
Top.
an inch and a half or whatever they
And we
put.
got some of the drains where the metal part of the drain at the top is broken, which is a safety hazard for the kids, cause we got quite a few kids in the neighborhood. And some of them are sunken down, the base of the drain. So that needs to be fixed also, at least 2 of them that I know of. Now, it's probably about a quarter of a mile all the way from the front of our entranceway down to the end of the street. But they have not approved the last 6 lots down there because they won't perk. So we don't care about that part of the road. We're probably talking about 200 feet, a little bit over 200 feet of road, 1.5 inches on top of it. And like I said before, we'd be willing to accept.
Who owns the lots at the end?
Mr. Hullett,
Mr. Hullett,
he bought it at an online auction, I think, about 3 years ago.
yeah,
Robert Hullett?
yeah.
Okay.
He owns everything.
But now he bought that
not
with the
everything.
stipulation, he said, I'm not gonna build anything back there. Because
just
they
bought it
said,
as a
if you
buffer.
build there, you're gonna have to do the road, you're gonna have to fix the road. And he keeps telling all of us, I'm not building anything back there. He told me, he's really nice, he told me one day, he said, I tell you why I bought that. He said it adjoins my property back there, but he said, I didn't want somebody coming
Keeps
there
people off
building
of
a
it.
bunch of little houses and stuff back in there. He said, I'm not building anything back there, but I don't want anybody else to.
Yep, and for hunting property, that's what he told me.
Well, we've got a motion to send this to our mayor to have our county attorney to research it and see if we can go back against the bond company.
Well, I'll second Tim's motion.
And well, I believe Joe Mike seconded
Oh,
that
did he?
motion.
Okay.
That's what I have wrote down.
I didn't hear him.
And I think that was all in discussion, what we just discussed. So if discussion's over, then we need to vote on that motion. So all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion approved. So we'll start
Gotta
that
have you
research
ask
for you. That's all we can
about
do.
that at least,
I
yes.
mean,
Okay.
I'd
Okay.
like to sit there and tell you, we can come right out there and pave it, but we just don't have that kind of authority or money or anything else right now.
We'd be willing to have it done in increments.
And legally,
Yeah.
by state law, he can't work on it because it's not on the road list. It has
Yeah.
not been accepted, so it's, I don't know if it's illegal, you legally cannot work on
I
that road.
cannot.
He cannot,
That's,
So-
I can get thrown out of office for doing that.
yeah. And sued.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hopefully that'll get the
Okay.
ball
Well,
rolling.
thank you for bringing
let's
that to
talk.
our attention.
Hopefully that'll get
We're
the
sorry
ball
that that's
rolling.
going on.
Yeah,
hope
I
so.
hate that.
We
I mean,
appreciate anything.
Well, we're not gonna give up on it.
well, we're
No,
not,
we're not gonna get that.
we're gonna start on it for you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
and I would, like he said, I would go back with my realtor and see if that showed in the title
Yep.
search and stuff.
About anything about it, because it
Yeah.
should have been something on that.
Well, we probably got 10 different realtors to tell you the truth.
Well, but whoever did the
I'd
title
start with
search
mine.
for you, yeah,
I'd start with the one that you had and then go from there.
who signed the
Now,
papers.
is there any need for us to come to the highway meeting tomorrow?
You can if you want to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
We're
say,
need a
it's
copy of
already
that
been
letter.
sent on right now to the mayor, so.
We're gonna need a copy of that letter. We're gonna need a copy of that letter. If we,
I'll have another copy.
do you have a copy of that letter?
A copy of what?
Of that letter? Do you have another
Yeah.
copy?
Yeah, I do. You can have this one.
Okay. As long as you get, is that the original?
Do you have a copy?
Let me see on the back.
As long as you have a copy.
Yeah, she's got one on the computer.
Yeah, I've got original.
Okay.
And that was returned because
Do
he
you want
wouldn't
this, or
accept
do you
the
want me to
letter.
make a copy and
No,
put it with the?
we don't
Yeah, I
have
want you to make a copy and put it with the minutes, and I'm
Okay.
gonna tell the mayor we're sending him something.
Okay.
Return receipt or anything?
I'll call him
Yeah,
and tell
I have
him
the
that
Okay.
we're sending
Okay.
him
I've got
that.
her phone number too, I'll put them
He
here.
likes it when I
They
call him.
say that it's at the Murfreesboro Post Office on Church Street.
Never to be picked up. He never picked it up. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that to us.
Okay, next thing on the old business is 6A, which is discussing the speed limit in the rural roads.
We'll get the minutes first.
Oh, I haven't done the minutes? Oh, I'm sorry, I have not. We need a motion to approve the minutes. That's right. Has everybody read the minutes? I have.
Approve the agenda,
Approve the minutes, we already approved
the
the
minutes. Oh, okay,
I'm sorry.
that's all right. I've got a cold and stopped
I'll
up
make a
here and I
motion
can't
to
hear.
approve the minutes, but I'd also like to say that we brought up the matching, the 20% match on the survey for the county, and we didn't get,
With 20% match for the,
Yeah.
it's down here.
yeah, no, but it didn't fly at Budget and Finance.
Did it? Oh, I was there too, and
Yeah.
how come? Oh, because it didn't get on the agenda.
No, it was on the agenda.
Was it?
Nobody wanted to spend all the county money. Maybe I need to take a swing at it again.
We need to swing at it one more time.
All right, we're gonna send it, we're gonna put it back on Budget and Fin, oh, wait, we gotta finish the minutes first.
Yeah, we
Jump
got to
ahead.
finish the minutes.
I got a motion by me,
Second.
okay?
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Okay, now we
Motion
go.
approved. Okay. So. Good enough. All right, old business discussing speed limit on the rural roads. Everybody has in their packet on the last sheet is that old resolution that was back in, what year was this? 91, which is I'm kind of like Benton, this is kind of like obsolete. And I want to take it in front of the full commission and have it rescinded so we can come up with a new one. And our new one is and here's what I have. There was a survey online on our county website, I took about speed limits, and I made my opinion on it. I don't know if anybody else saw it, but I did see it after our last meeting, and I
That
took
was
that.
on your, what?
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I think it was on yours.
Yeah, I think I filled that
So
out too.
I did that, and I'd like to see us go and everybody talk about looking at going to, for right now, our minimum speed would be 45, or maximum speed, however you want to do it, on your main arteries, which is Ragsdale Road, Asbury Road, you know what I'm talking about, Fredonia Road and
16th
Alcoa,
model,
yeah,
yeah.
all the majors. Right now, let's get them down to 45. I've been, and I've talked a little bit about it, but I'd like to see us, whenever we get this thing removed, where we can do something, I would like to see us try to do it in phases, get our main veins done first to get them down to the 45. Because the secondary roads off of those lines are usually subdivision roads or smaller roads, and a lot of people are already, at a slower pace anyway, till they get on those main roads, and then they go flying. But it may be possible where we can just do the main arteries first, and then go to the veins, do it in increments.
Do we do,
Where it
you wanna
doesn't
make
hit us
a,
so bad.
you wanna make a default speed limit for everything and then specialize for particular areas?
Yeah, because some people's gonna come in here and say, well, we need it to be 35 down through. We got all these kids down through there, and I agree. There's gonna be places we're gonna be able to say, yes, we agree with that. We might wanna make it 35. Now, but right now, make the base for every road right now at 45. And then whenever they say that's too fast on that road, then we're gonna come back and address those.
And I hope that people also realize that our sheriff doesn't have enough road deputies to teetotally enforce.
Nope.
And he only has 1 or 2 radar units in the cars.
Well, if we go with this, do we have to put up
We'll
those
have to
signs
post
everywhere?
yes, we'll
I
have
mean,
to post signs.
appropriate places?
Benton's gonna research, what those positions would have to be on our main artery roads, because I think whenever, you can't just stick one like, it'll just take, Ragsdale Road, for instance. You can't stick one out there on the end of Ragsdale Road. And then people go up there and they'll take the right off on Bushy Branch Road and say, okay, I'm gone now. But we have a starting point, and you can't just stick one on the other end of Ragsdale Road and say that's the speed limit.
Well, any kind of entrance or
vein
exit,
that's going off
you'd have
the
to have a
side.
notification
You
of
have to
the
have,
speed limit.
you have to have more.
That
So
could
he's
be
gonna
very
research that and
expensive.
find out. Yes, it can be
Very
really
expensive.
expensive. It can be. So that's why I'm saying, let's try to do it in some phases. It's the only way I know to do it. But if we're gonna try to get it down to 45 mile an hour, we're gonna have to come up with phases.
Okay.
Because that will keep our cost where we can control it a little bit.
So
Well-
would this need to go before anybody else, or just come from us to? the
It has to
full
come, and we'll have to address it at full commission meeting, and one of us, I'm gonna have it put on the agenda.
Okay.
I've talked to the mayor about it, and he said he will put it on the agenda, and we'll have to bring it up and ask for this resolution to be dissolved.
Okay, and give them a
or
reason why.
rescinded, and reason why.
Okay.
And
I'll
that-
make
Well,
that motion.
you just need 2 commissioners to,
Sign
you
off
know,
on it. I'll
Yep.
sign off. Cause if we can get rid of this, then we can start back, cause
We
this
can
is
start back.
mainly for rock trucks.
That's what this was for.
Yeah, the
And
lot.
and at the time, yeah, it was probably a smart idea, but now it's changed. It's changed. We have more than that out there. And I'm not trying to punish anybody, I'm just trying to save somebody from having a major collision that we're gonna sit there and regret for not doing.
well,
something
sometimes it's
about it.
easier to go from a blank slate, start over from the ground up.
Yep. So you gonna make the motion, we go ahead and send it to the full, okay. he's
I'll
made a
second
motion.
the motion.
We have had a motion made and seconded, and any more discussion on it? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion approved.
Okay,
Oh.
back to Mr. Bartlett's 20% match. I would like to once more send it back to Budget and Finance.
I would like for you to do it again.
Get a nibble on it. In fact, we can put it on the 27th.
There was something you left off the agenda last time, remember?
Yeah, but it wasn't this.
Wasn't
'cause
this?
Our mayor didn't wanna,
Oh.
didn't like wasn't that it?
This?
Make sure my brain's working, because it's been
Try
a
it
long
again.
day.
Let's try it again.
So a 20% match would be what, like $52,000, $53,000?
Yes, sir.
and everybody in the county uses our road. Well, let me rephrase that. A lot of people that pay taxes in this county use county roads. Whether it be in Tullahoma, off the side of Manchester, down in Normandy, they're county roads. And we all contribute to them. And this, to me, once you hear what it does, and over the 10 years, the life of this would give him to where, you know, you pay part of my road because the rest of it's good, doesn't need to be paved.
Yeah.
That can save a lot of money right there and
yeah.
a lot more paving go on.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna have it all, I'm speaking to the choir here, but knows where all the signs are at and stuff like that, so. All right, I'll pitch that one more time in February.
Okay.
But this is an overall evaluation
Yes,
of
it
all our
is.
county roads.
Yes,
And we got a grant to help us do that, and
yes.
do,
It's,
and people come in from the state to do that, or is this left in our lap?
it is a contractor that's gonna do
Okay.
this. The name of the contractor is Civil, CYVL.
Okay,
And it uses artificial intelligence. They go through there with a scan on the bottom of a vehicle, and then they got a LiDAR camera sits on top of the car and catches all the signs, the guardrails. They can look at the striping on the roads and tell us what kind of shape they're in, the reflectivity of the signs, and it'll give us a way to take layers of that road and decide how much we can do, and with the money that we've got, we can go in there and say we'd like to do, well, we just go down through there till we run out of money, and then, but it
But we
lets
can
us know how much
prioritize.
we do. Yes.
we understand the needs, we can
Yes,
prioritize.
and I met with them today, and they said not only just go out there and get the worst ones first, they take into account the amount of traffic that's on each road and which one, you know, he used the example, there's no need in paving a dead-end road with two people on it when you got a artery here that's falling, it could be fixed cheaper if it went ahead and got fixed, as opposed to waiting until it fell apart and then having to redo the whole thing. So they take all that into account too in their little program. So
Once we gave them, if we gave them the okay, how long would it take them to make this evaluation? Bring us back the results?
probably somewhere around a month to 6 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, that's pretty quick
it is. Yeah.
for all the roads we have.
See, this discussion we're talking about is actually 7B, which is fine. We can do it that, because that's kind of what I was wanting to talk about with this, okay? Because this will stop, this would help him know where he has to go easier. It'll give him a drawing where they're headed to.
And it's not just my word. Then I've
Yeah.
got a little bit of proof that right here it is, and you know.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll just count that as part of that 7B then.
Okay, I'll put that on.
I wanted, under new business, I wanted to address some other road width, for county road. What do we have do we have a standard road width on the county roads?
We do on new roads.
Because you know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's complaining about, our road is not wide enough. We got bridges that, unfortunately, a lot of people think a bridge is something with a body of water running underneath it, and that is not true. I learned that from the state. A box culvert is not considered a bridge. And unfortunately, we have a lot of box culverts. And we have a lot of them that are being pounded into the ground.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, literally pounded in. One is on Ragsdale,
There is one on Rags Road that needs.
Ragsdale Road that is probably hitting almost 6 inches deep right now. It will literally throw your vehicle. There are some on, and you know what I'm talking about, Airport Road.
SP Anderson, that box
There-
out there about
there's
halfway down
several.
there, there's been destroyed.
I don't know what the solution, the solution is not throwing a patch on top.
No.
Because all they're doing is still compacting it right into the ground. The ground is so soft underneath of them that all they're doing is going down.
Well, I got a theory on what happened to them. The last 6 or 7 years, we've had more rain than we had the 20 years before that. What's happened to a lot of these bridges, and the ones that are sinking down, they got water running under the piers of them, instead of through the bridge or
Yeah.
running under the bridge.
Uh-huh.
Well, when they start doing that, that
It's-
gravel they backfill with usually crusher runs what we usually dig out.
Yep.
That water's carrying that away. It's like a sinkhole.
Void underneath them.
Board underneath, it washes away, a little more crumbles off, a truck hits it and a little crumbles off. Next rain carries that off. Next thing you know, you got a dip. And we've fixed a few of those bridges and where we just had to dig beside the bridge all the way down to the creek bed and backfill it with some bigger rocks so it wouldn't wash away. We had a sinkhole on oh golly, what's the name of that road? Anyway, we lost about from here to the end of the table. One lane of road, so we had to dig it all down. Poured concrete when freezing wet. It's 6 that day, I think, that morning. But we poured that concrete in there, and we feel good about that one. It got fixed. So, but just about every bridge in the county has got a little bit of that.
Going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that we're gonna have, that's why this number 7B is important for us to try to get this pushed through.
How much was the repair done at Ralph Broderick Road when y'all put the pre-built in?
About $130,000.
And that was they brought it in, craned it in,
Um,
dropped it in, and in 2 weeks they were done.
The estimate on that bridge was, let's see, it's around 2 million, or not 2 million, right at $1 million. I'm still telling you that wrong. We built an 89-foot one down there at Rutledge Falls, and it cost almost $1 million. This little old bridge here was probably $200,000 or $300,000, and we got it put in for $130,000.
But
We
that
did
was
the work-
quicker. That was quicker, but I'm saying.
We
that
did the
shows
work
people-
ourselves.
Yeah, it shows the people that we don't have the money in the budget to do 5 of those a year.
No,
Don't
No,
even have
no,
the money
no.
to really do 1 a year.
we do lucky to get them fixed.
Yeah.
And most of them are I've had engineers go out, well, Kenny Sadler, y'all probably all know him. I get him to go with me and look at those bridges before I start fixing them, and he gives me some ideas on it. And some of those bridges in the most part are still good bridges. They just got the stuff washed out from under them, and sometimes you can fix that, sometimes you
So
can't.
some of those box culverts, can you pull them? Or are they still intact, or do you destroy them when you pull them?
I don't. I
'Cause
never,
that's why I was wondering, can it be pulled?
we never tried to pull one. We
I didn't
try to get pour concrete, block the water off, and get
Yeah.
concrete back up under the piers. And this summer, when they start making hot mix again, we're going to try to
Recap.
recap that one
Okay.
on Ragsville Road. We think we've got in good shape now. We just need to get some hot mix and cap it.
You know, I know it's not just, everybody can say, well, it's those sod trucks. It's not just them.
No,
You got a lot of
We-
weight going across there anyway.
We have, I don't know how many truckloads and truckloads of rock going down it. So there's rock trucks going down the road, there's,
well, Mr. Tinsley opened one up in Green Hall, and we're getting a lot down Prairie Plains Road now. And it's beginning to show wear and tear on Prairie Plains Road that we wouldn't have had if that.
wouldn't been there.
Yeah.
Are there construction projects going on down there? Is that what the rock trucks
That's
are
a
going?
shortcut into Coffee County down from Green Hall
Mhm.
to, back toward Hillsborough, wherever. That's kind of a shortcut. It was a good road. It's still a pretty good road, but, yes, it's a shut.
They come out of Franklin County.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a cut through for 'em.
I know in East Tennessee, we would limit the size of trucks on roads designed like that.
We
So
went
that wouldn't
through-
happen.
We went through that in Tennessee. A couple of years ago, they were trying to log up there in Franklin County, and it got to be statewide. They tried to get it where you could keep big trucks off, or at least make them help pay for the repairs. They didn't fly. You can't keep anybody off a public road.
So anything new construction wise now is what's the width of the asphalt that they have to do?
It has to be 22 at least. in a subdivision.
Okay.
But on the lane, on the main artery, they're usually around 10-foot lanes. Is about
So
what,
you're talking
is about
20
what
feet?
they're wanting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 feet's usually what they have. And on the, I know we're talking about Old Airport. That road is probably 18 or 19 foot, and that little old bridge. I don't know if y'all been down through there or not, but it looks like it's set over here and the road's over here.
Yeah, it's kind of
But that-
offset.
But that bridge is also inspected by the state every 2 years. And they listed that as a fair condition, which is pretty good compared to a
A
lot
lot
of.
of bridges are in trouble.
But it's 18.3 feet wide.
Okay.
So, and it is rated as a 2-lane bridge. Yeah, you know. And I'll tell you, we put a car counter out there yesterday. Picked
Good.
it up this morning.
And
630
Good grief.
some odd cars,
a day?
Uh-huh.
1 day?
24-hour
You
period.
get a lot of people coming through Grundy through there too, use that road.
I don't know where they're
On
going.
Old Airport Road?
Yes, I couldn't believe it. Hey, Ralph Broderick, that little old bridge down there had a 1,500 or 1,300 or
What's on
something.
my road?
That's a shortcut.
It
Rob
is.
Broderick's a shortcut from the
Wow.
lakeside to Normandy side.
We moved it. We had it right there at the bridge I was talking about.
Hmm.
We moved it on up there past Pratt, and so they'll catch what's coming down through there and turn down Pratt and Hickerson. So we moved it up the road about a mile, and we'll know about it tomorrow.
Well, your GPS driving, your GPS driving apps, you know, they're aware of where people are, and if something happens, if the road's clogged up, they'll take them around a different way. And if people find a faster shortcut, then they'll take that next time.
Well, I was amazed at Old Airport.
Yeah, that's
And
600.
bringing Airport Road up to 22 foot or whatever, I mean.
That's the most expensive thing you can do to
Yeah,
widen the
no,
road.
I know it.
You can't hardly do it and make it stay.
Well, the ditches, you're gonna have to go through the ditches, fill them back
The-
in, dig
the
another
ditch-
ditch out. And all that where the ditch is not good ground anyway, so you have to backfill all that with good rock to hold it up on one side or the other. And, I don't know, Rutherford County has a bunch of small roads that go out to subdivisions that they've not widened.
What you run into, like roads like 16th Model, the right of way is not but 40 feet. Perry Plains is the same way. You get a 20-foot 20-foot road out there in a 40-foot right of way. Sometimes your ditches are so deep that you don't have any shoulders and you don't have any. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you can't make those any wider because they already have problems. Some of these county roads it'd be expensive. I ain't gonna say it can't be done. Anything can be done.
Yeah, if you throw enough money at it,
Yeah,
it can.
yeah.
We've got such soft underpinnings from what I understand anyway. Wetlands, marsh,
We're doing some
soggy bottom.
They hold up good in Hillsborough.
All right, is that it?
I appreciate all y'all do for
Yeah.
the school system. I
Well,
understand
Yeah.
every time I call, it gets fixed. So,
Well, we need to set our meeting date for our next meeting, which should be what, in 3 months? Is that right?
We don't
that
need a
should be-
special meeting for that, for those people just appealed to us about that.
Well, I think you said it was gonna go in
For
front
the
of the board.
commission.
Okay, you just bring it by two.
Yeah.
Two commissioners can sponsor that, come for the CLB.
So right now I have, let's see if we can do it on June the 3rd. Wait a minute. No, we can't do it on June the 3rd.
what day is that?
I'll be on an island
Oh.
somewhere.
Just don't get it on the Tuesday and Thursday, cause we'll be rocking and rolling.
Let's not think about that week at
Budget
all.
finance.
Okay, yeah. Do we wanna wait till after budget and finance?
No, you can throw it in there. I mean, just don't do it on a Tuesday or a Thursday, or Monday, or, I won't do it on Friday. But I
No.
will,
You talking about March or April?
May.
Let's go to May. Let's look at May. I know May's
And
not
you
as good.
cancel it if we don't have anything.
Why don't we just, why don't we just do it on May the sixth? That's gonna be before the commission meeting anyway. Okay?
Yeah, that'd be the week before,
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody good with May the sixth?
6th, 4:30?
Yeah, and I will, since I now have everybody's, number, I can text you. I like to text out a reminder so everybody knows it's coming up.
It works.
I appreciate it.
I go to the calendar every Monday.
I do too. I go to it. I've got my calendar now filled through June, so it helps me when I do that. Ben, you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Let's see what we can do the 27th.
And at 4:30? Everybody good still at 4:30? Okay. Yeah,
May
we just-
6th.
On May the sixth. Okay. All right, that's what I got it wrote down for. All that's left is.
And if you
motion
wanna
to
come the
adjourn.
27th, I'll put you number one on the agenda.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I would come.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I sure would have wanted to be there last time, man. I
Oh, I
was
know
sick
you were
and all.
sick, yeah. And it wasn't because of JoJo, it's just that people didn't wanna.
Yeah, so I watched it. I wished I'd been there.
So we need a motion to adjourn?
We need a motion to
So
adjourn?
moved.
We have a
Second.
motion made and seconded, and all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I hope y'all get something worked out on that May end thing.